Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Neelambujasyabalkomalangam Ita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations Lord Rama, whose complexion is like the blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Sri Ramcharitmanas, Aranyakand, verse number is 16, and our context is story of or episode of Shurpanakha, which I have explained is Vishaya Sukha. How is Vishaya Sukha handled in the project of your sadhana? And Vishaya Sukha implies all the vyasanas, living your life for satisfying the whims of your mind. And as malas dominate your mind, the mind becomes more and more whimsical. When you are dominated by your mind, then 7 vyasanas become your highlight of your life. Vyasanas are luxuries. Your body, son. You use your body to show off. So, how many prints can you create on your body? How can you create changes in your lock, in your nails, and all those? Attention given to the body. Mana, tan, man. Let me just enumerate them. Tan, man is mind. Krodh, anger. Vishaya, objects of enjoyment. Dhan, wealth. Rajya, literally meaning kingdom, which means power. And sevak, servants. So these become the highlight in your life. And that's what you interpret as progress. When you have all these facilities to show off your body, to just please the whims of your mind, and to allow anger to keep the house of your mind constantly full of sound. Keep as if anger becomes your energy. Each time look for what strength you have. That will, in order to show it, you have to show all your teeth. The sparks coming out of your eyes. Big people, the more angry they are, and even if they are not angry, their very appearance is kind of an embodiment of anger. People know that within minutes this person will explode. Anyone approaching becomes afraid. And Vishaya Sukh, going after lots of enjoyments, filling of your refrigerator with lots of rasgullas. I'm joking. Lots of foods that are not healthy at all. But who cares? Dhan, just accumulating wealth and gaining power. You have dominated some people, you want to dominate over some others, you want to go spiral, whether you deserve it or not. And to have lots of servants, people, associates, who must obey you literally and not work on the basis of rational value of life. So these movements, that means Shurpanakha is becoming dominating factor. Vishaya Sukh. So that Shurpanakha has entered Sri Rama's ashram. Having seen Rama, she has become deeply enchanted. This state is a positive state from a spiritual point of view. Rama means jnana. Somehow you become involved in satsanga. You listen to the glory of jnana. Now the Vishaya Sukha in you become also interested in how does Rama look like. This is intricate psychology. Without going into that aspect, to go into this story. Shurpanakha says, Mam anurupa purusha jagamahi, dekheun koji lokati hunahi. In this entire universe, I have never seen anyone who matches with me. So therefore, I have remained unmarried. But having seen you talking to Rama, he says, somewhat you are satisfactory. सीतहि चितहि कही प्रभु बाता, अहि कुमार मोर लघु भ्राता. Looking at Sita, Sri Rama said that my brother Lakshmana is still unmarried. See, lies play a great part in the spiritual world. All affirmations are kind of lies. But those lies are most precious. They are spiritually effective, leading you to truth. So affirmations. In that category comes this Rama's statement. Lakshmana is still unmarried. The jnana is bringing the vision of worldly enjoyment in the face of dhyana, meditation. Rama is jnana, Lakshmana is dhyana, meditative process. So the practice of meditation, dhyana yoga, when you bring the topic of Vishaya Sukh in your dhyana movement, Now your Vishaya Sukh begins to Google up lot of miseries. He doesn't have a beautiful nose and ears. Her nose and ears are cut off. I'm going ahead in his story, but let's go through this story. Lakshmanji realized that Shurpanakha is sister of the great enemy. Enemy is ignorance. Shurpanakha is Vishaya Sukh. That's the subtle relation between ignorance and love for pleasure. Knowing that this is a great project, Lakshmana spoke in gentle voice. सुंदरी सुनु मैं उनकर दासा, पराधीन नहीं तोर सुपासा. Oh beautiful lady, I am his maid servant. I am a slave of Rama. I am completely dependent. You will not be comfortable in that state, marrying me. प्रभु समर्थ कौशलपुर राजा, यो कछु करहि उन्हीं सब साजा. And Rama is all powerful. He has the freedom to do anything he wants. In brief, even if he is married, he can marry another one. And whatever he does highlights his glory. सेवक सुख चाह मान भिखारी, व्यसनी धन शुभ गति व्यभिचारी. Slave cannot wish for happiness. A bhikhari, a beggar, cannot expect respectful life. One who is addicted to luxury cannot wish for Shubhagati, for having a positive spiritual end. In other words, cannot go to heaven. These types of people, if they want happiness or prosperity, is just like someone takes a whole bucket and is ready to milk the cow of the sky. The sky is the cow, and want to milk this sky. In other words, if you fall for Vishaya Sukha, pleasures of the senses, then the milk is dharma, artha, kama, moksha, purposes of life. That milk you can't get. There is no purposeful living. Your life will become empty. पुनि फिरी राम निकट तो आई, प्रभु लक्ष्मण पहि बहुरी पठाई. She went to Rama again. And Rama again sent her to Lakshmana. Lakshmana kaha, in other words, there is always movement. Sometimes you are helped by jnana, what you learn from scripture. And sometimes you are helped by dhyana, meditation. So dhyana knocks Vishaya Sukha. Jnana knocks another way. Jnana and dhyana. Between these, Vishaya Sukha this way, that way. लक्ष्मण कहा तो ही तो भरई, जो तृण तोरी लाज परिहरई. Lakshmana said, whoever will marry you is one who has discarded gracious living, all modest living, gracious look of life, that has to be discarded. All goodness in your life you have to discard in order to marry you who are so ugly. Only Nirlaj, most shameless one, will marry you. In other words, for a spiritual aspirant to fall for Vishaya Sukh is shameful. Shame. तब खिसियानी राम पही गई, रूप भयंकर प्रगटत भाई. Then she became ultimately so angry. She went to Rama and assumed her terrible form. See, on one side is story, another side is deeper meaning. Now the same Vishaya Sukh that appeared so beautiful in the beginning now appears very ugly. When you exercise your vichar, inquiry, same Vishaya Sukh, now you are interpreting sarvam dukham vivekina. Once viveka has entered your intellect, then all Vishaya Sukh that will hold you down into the world process is viewed as a terrible calamity. Any idea of coming back again is never accepted by spiritually sensitive vision. If once you have developed that, you have mumukshutva, burning aspiration for God realization. But as long as you are expecting to come back to find happiness in the world, you are lacking that vision. So by her appearing so ugly, that's a subtle meaning. The same Vishaya Sukh now has become terrible. But there is more terror is coming to the Vishaya Sukh. लक्ष्मण आधी लाखों तब खिसियानी राम पही गई, रूप भयंकर प्रगटत भई. So in her great anger, she assumes she resumed her real terrible form. सीतहि सभय देखी रघुराई, कहा अनुज सन शयन बुझाई. Seeing Sita as if terrified, as if Rama cast his gaze to Lakshmana. With the angle of his eye, he gave this message to Lakshmana, implying he suggested Lakshmana to do something about it without using words. Sometimes people give message by shifting the eye. लक्ष्मण अति लाघों सो नाक कान बिनुकीन, ताके कर रावण कहाँ मनऊ चुनौती दीन. Lakshmana, with great speed, chopped her nose and ears as if Lakshmana challenged Ravana. I have to understand now the real family of Shurpanakha. Shurpanakha has two sets. One set is Khara, Dushana and Trishira. These are her close brothers. Another set is Kumbhakarna, Ravana, Vibhishan. These are two spirals. One is spiral Khara. Khara is vasanas, subtle desires that are extremely negative. Dushana is rajas mixing with tamas. And Trishira is tamas dominating. Trishira means three heads. When you dream, your dream world, the dream awareness has three heads: the subject, the object, the interacting experience. What you think yourself to be in your dream, that identity of yours is one head, Trishira. Your view of the world around you, that's the second head. And your attitude, your experience of pleasure and pain is the third. That's called Trishira. It refers to like a dream type of a world. So, two spirals are activated. These are interlocking spirals. One spiral ends into another spiral. In a storyline, they are all brothers. Khara, Dushana, Trishira, one set of brothers. Another set brothers, Kumbhakarna, Ravana, Vibhishana. नाक कान बिनु भाई विकरारा, जनु सब सैल गौरु गेरु के धारा. Now description is given of her terrible look, without nose and ears. Nose, smell, gross impurities. Look at, to give very crude illustration. You are seeing some dirty stuff in your room. That's one type of negative experience. But go into a room, nothing is dirty, everything is wonderful. But your nose cannot bear it. It's too much. Oh, onion garlic. But you don't see onion garlic anymore. So that type of impurity is khara. And impurities that appear vivid, that's like dushana. And the result of these impurities bring your consciousness into a dream-like state. Put you in experiencing this long dream of the world process. Trishira. Khara, Dushana and Trishira. They are brothers. Go together. And it's the project of jnana and dhyana, your jnana yoga and your dhyana yoga, to sublimate these impurities and to have broader understanding. Jnana and dhyana are being supported and nourished by Bharata and Shatrugna, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So integral yoga is always being promoted in all scriptures. Now, what happens if you are progressing on the spiritual path? Same Vishaya Sukha that looks so wonderful. Now, how does it look? Without nose and ears. Extremely terrible. And also it's bleeding. The whole personality is like a big mountain. But a mountain that is being bathed in blood. Black mountain. decked with streaming blood. And in this form, crying, weeping, she went to Kharadushana and Trishira. And this is the way she approached the brothers. Dig dig tava paurusha balabhrata. Oh brothers, shame on you, shame on you, shame on your strength and your power. नहीं पूछा सब कहे सी बुझाई, जातु धान सुनि सेन बनाई. Shurpanakha explained all that had happened. Hearing this, demons arranged the army, prepared the army. An army of demons went after Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. This whole army was like black mountains that have developed wings. Nana Vahana Nana Kara Nana Ayudha Dhargho Gharadho Ghor Apara. Supnakha आगे करी लीनी, अशुभ रूप Shrutinasa Kini. Riding on different vehicles, all this vast army, consisting of numerous shapes and forms, and holding countless weapons. They are being led by Shurpanakha, who is the embodiment of inauspiciousness. So under the leadership of Shurpanakha, behind her, a vast army of demons are going to revenge on Rama. Asaguna Amit Ohi Bhayakari Ganahina Mrityu Vibhasa Sabajari. And lots of inauspicious omens occur, but they don't recognize it because they are going to be eliminated. Garjahi tarjahi gagan udahi, dekhi kataku bhat ati harasahi. They roar, they shout, they jump and fly in the sky. Their own army becomes very excited and energetic. Kaukahajyat dharahu dau bhai, dhari marahu tiyalehu chuchadai. Some of them are shouting. They catch these two brothers alive and then kill them. Snatch this woman from them. The sky is filled with dust, storm of dust. Sri Rama at that stage asked Lakshmana, ले जाने की जाहु गिरी कंदर, आवा निशिचर कटकु भयंकर, रहेउ सजग सुनि प्रभु कह बानी, चले सहित शीसर धनु पानी. Rama said, this terrible army has come. Take Sita Devi to a deep cave in a mountain and stay alert. This is while sadhana is going on at a higher level. Lakshmana is dhyana. Dhyana is taking care of viveka buddhi, sanamati, good understanding. The jnana movement becomes secure if Lakshmana is doing his part. If dhyana is creating the path, promoting paving the way, dhyana must pave the way. And this is the illustration of paving the way. Lakshmana keeps Sita. Dhyana movement is focused on purifying the heart. So heart is the focus. And in that heart is kept Sanamati, divine understanding, safe, unaffected, in order that Sita will emerge free. देखी राम दल रिपुदल चली आवा, पिहासी कठिन को दंड चढ़ावा. By this time, the army of the enemy came closer. Sri Rama, seeing this vast army, laughed and stretched his bow with arrow. कोदंड कठिन चढ़ाई सिर, जट जूठ बांधत सोह क्यों, मरकत सयल पर लरत दामिनी, कोटि सोजुग भुजग ज्यों. कटि कसिग निसंग विशाल भुज, गही चाप विशिक सुधारी कह. चितवत मनहु मृगराज प्रभु, गजराज घटा निहारी कह. Tulsidas is very inspired. He uses big literary poetry describing this condition. How is Rama looking? All this again provides for devotees different forms of Rama. Rama can be meditated upon in any episode. Rama preparing to fight Khara Dushana. How does he look? How does the whole army shivers? How Rama destroys them. So that type of meditation means it gives you comfort. That Rama is your Ishta Devata. Look at your problems. Are they as vast as the army of Khara Dushana? Your problems are different. But that Rama can destroy such a vast army of demons. He is your guiding light. You are in his hands. And his head is decked with matted locks. And how does he look? He looks like Pearl Mountain, the whole mountain of pearl. And on the top of this pearly mountain, twin snakes are fighting. Snakes are lightnings. Kundalini Shakti in two aspects. Neti and affirmation. They are fighting over it. So the mountain is shining, constant lightning shines. And two lightnings are fighting among themselves, between themselves. So how does the Market Mountain look? The Pearl Mountain. You simply see Pearl Mountain. Well, it's okay, it's wonderful, it's part. But now see flashing all over in a strange way. That's how Rama appeared. In his waist is decked with weapons, his vast arms holding bow and arrow, and he was gazing at all the vast army in that setup of his personality. Just like a lion looking at a whole group of elephants. The elephants become terrified when a lion sits on a high level and roars before them or simply gazes at them. आई गए बगबेल धरहु धरहु धावत सुभत यथा बिलोकी अकेल बाल रवि घेरत अनुज धनुज. The demons catch him, having shouting with these words, catch Rama. With great rush, they surrounded Rama, just like the rising sun. He becomes dominated by dark clouds. And with this, we conclude. Om Ram 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Prayer for shower of Karuna, Mayras grace of God over all of you, with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti, and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukum Bandhana Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyant Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.